My name's Dave Putwain. I'm Professor of Education in the Faculty of Education at Edgell University. My research interests are in the psychological factors which predict learning and achievement in learners of all ages, although I have predominantly focused on children and adolescents in secondary school. So the sorts of things I'm interested in are students' beliefs about themselves as learners, students' motivation, students' engagement, students' experiences of learning, that is, their interest in learning, their curiosity in learning, their fear of failure in learning as well. But it's important to remember when we're talking about these things as being predictors of learning and achievement, that in fact learning and achievement as well can affect the psychology of the learner. So in fact these things interact with each other over time in a reciprocal fashion, so that people's beliefs might influence their learning and achievement, and then people's learning and achievement go on to then influence their beliefs. And the reason why I'm interested in these things is IQ, or ability, or people's innate cognitive capacity can only account for a certain proportion of people's learning and achievement. There's lots of other factors which influence people's learning and achievement. And what I'm interested in is finding out what these factors are, not only from the point of view of trying to understand them, but from also an intervention point of view as well. What I would like my research to do ultimately is be of benefit to people, so that we can find out more about how we can improve people's learning and achievement. It's very important that students have got a positive belief in not only their ability to do something, but also that effort will be responded to with positive results. So if students believe they're good at maths, for instance, they'll make an effort with it. If they don't believe they're any good at maths, they won't make an effort with it. And those beliefs about whether you're any good at something or not are as important as whether you're actually any good at it or not. Somebody could be actually good at it, but if they don't believe they're no good at it, they're not going to try. And similarly, if people believe that effort is not going to get them anywhere, then again, they're not going to try at all. So it's very important to look at people's beliefs. In terms of their goals, again, what I'm interested in is finding out what people's goal for learning is. Is it to develop themselves as learners, to improve themselves, or to improve against some particular task standard, or is it to beat other people, a kind of competitive drive? Again, when you look at motivation, I'm interested, are people motivated by an intrinsic curiosity or interest in a particular subject, or are they driven by more instrumental goals? I am learning in order to get a particular grade, to get myself in a particular job, or to go on a particular college course. Some of the research I've been involved in recently has been looking at how teachers try and motivate students for their GCSE exams. And quite often they use strategies which draw attention to the importance of GCSEs. GCSEs are important for helping you with your future. If you want to go to college, then you need some GCSEs, quite often grade C in maths and English, or particular grades in subjects that you might want to continue to study. Particular jobs require particular grades. But all sorts of ways teachers promote the importance of GCSEs. And we call these value promoting statements because in one way or another what they do is they promote the value of GCSEs. GCSEs are a valuable thing to do. And teachers can use these types of messages in different ways. Sometimes they use these messages focused on failure, sometimes they use them on the positive outcomes of success. And we've been researching into what the outcomes of these types of messages might be and how students might interpret them in different ways. And what we have generally found from the programme of research we've been undertaking is that when these messages are used that focus on failure or avoiding failure rather than focusing on success and attaining success, is that there's a greater chance that students find them worrisome. And when students find things worrisome, then they tend to focus on the worry rather than on what they need to do in order to do well. and ultimately they tend to produce worse GCSE grades. So we found a clear link there between an element of practice, students' beliefs in relation to this practice, and how that might impact on their learning and achievement.